Hello again, everybody. Zach Attack is here with my WWE Raw review tonight, Monday, December 11th, 2017, from Cleveland, Ohio. Well, Raw's got no pay-per-views coming up, but they are kind of preparing for the Royal Rumble. As they announced tonight, they're going to have a big main event today. Who would face off against the Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar? Besides that, aside from that, should I say, it was a decent little Raw this evening. Some had some bumps in the wall. We got some big movements involving Absolution, who have now made enemies out of all of the Raw women's locker room. Another great IC title match with Roman Reigns is two Shield brothers were in action as feuds between Dean and Seth with the Bar, and of course moments with Joe intertwined with each other. The aftermath from what happened last week. And we have a little involvement from Jason Jordan during tonight's festivities. Plus, we had cruiserweight action, a change after what happened over the weekend, which I'll address when we get to our obligatory cruiserweight match. And then the mention about who was going to face Brock Lesnar. Well, who is going to face Brock Lesnar after that ending? We'll probably get that addressed next week, where Brock Lesnar is set to appear on Raw. Because we had two monsters facing up for that position. And a lot more questions than answers. But before we get to that, let's start from the beginning. With Samoa Joe in the ring to kick us off. Talk about what he did last week with the help from the Bar. I always get the club and the bar confused. Lewis finally saw the club on television for the first time in weeks, doing a segment today, but no alliance. Anywho, Joe saw his big plan, because he's been starting a feud with Roman Reigns over the Intercontinental Championship, laying him out the last couple weeks. But now, he's screwing over Roman's friends. Of course, we saw what happened last week when he got involved in the main event involving the Bar, defending their Raw Tag Team titles against the Shield, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. Joe getting involved after the match was restarted to a no DQ match following the match originally ending with a DQ when Sheamus went a break after the count of 5 in the corner against Dean. That's when Joe got involved and Roman Reigns got involved in the match, taking Joe out, but the damage was done. Joe's involvement got capitalized by the Bar. And Joe talked about how he did what he did last week, but he still wants to get his hands on Roman Reigns. He doesn't want anybody's help. He can beat up Roman Reigns by himself without any help. He was trying to dope Roman Reigns out there and come out by yourself without your Shield boys by your side. We saw all three of them watching him out there, and Roman's like, I'm going to take care of this, boys. I will be a man. I will be by myself on this. But it turned out to be a setup for a trap. Roman got his hands on Joe, they brawled a little bit, and then the Bar came out. So much for Joe saying he doesn't need any help. Like I said, a trap was made with the Bar beating up on Roman 3-on-1. And then Seth and Dean came out. You know, they had to, because, hey, it was a trap. It's a trap. Hey, Star Wars is coming out on Friday. So I'm going to make some Star Wars jokes. Well, not maybe the only one I'm going to make. Anyway, they made a big brawl. But the numbers game was still, well, they were kind of even, but Roman was still weakened by the numbers game before the arrival of his friends. And all three got taken out by the Bar and Joe, especially Roman being laid out once again by a clutch. Of course, all these guys would face up in individual action. We're going to see a 6-man tag with these 6 guys at Tribute to the Troops on Thursday. And it was shown in a preview. As part of WWE Week on USA, which will include NXT. Now, I was asking myself, is NXT on USA going to be the episode that's going to air on the network? Or is it going to be a fresh episode just for USA? Well, seeing the match they advertised, being Aleister Black and Adam Cole, baby, and seeing the description of the network, it will be the episode that will air on the network. So if you have the network, don't watch USA unless you want to watch it anyway, because it's the same episode that's on the network. But if you don't have the network, you get NXT basically for free this week without the network, because it's going to be on USA. So, There's your answer. It would be the same episode that will air on the network, on WWE Network, that's going to air on USA on Wednesday. Only an hour early. Interesting. But now let's get some in-ring action on the way on Raw. After the opening salvo, we would have Bayley and Mickie James taking on Paige and Mandy Wells of Absolution, with Sasha Banks in their corner and Sonya in Absolution's corner. We're supposed to get a 6-woman tag 2 weeks ago, but Absolution took out both Mickie and Bayley, leaving Sasha all by herself, because Sasha took on Paige last week and lost that one. It played his first in-ring match in over a year, so now it's her first tag match in over a year. Match was pretty good. You know, you got somewhat predictable involvement from both Sonya and Sasha Banks in this affair. Of course, Bayley was isolated early. Man, they booked Bayley. They went Bayley the wrong way this year. Man, Bayley was one of the most popular superstars on NXT. They turned into a joke in the booking, especially this year alone. She went from being one of the most popular females to becoming a laughingstock with the way she's been booked by creative, especially her feud against Alexa Bliss. Not only did Alexa no favors, but definitely did Bayley no favors at all. But despite the isolation game for Paige and Mandy and Sonya still need a little bit of mic work and let the talking go to Paige. Because they had a little promo going on, and Paige needs to be the only one speaking. She's more experienced talker. Then Sonya and Mandy, they maybe need a few more promo classes in NXT and the Performance Center. And after the isolation game, Bayley got the hot tag to Mickie, came in from House of Fire. Covers a big moves, some big kicks. But then as Mickie was about to deliver some big moves onto Paige, Mandy got in, but then Mandy got taken out by Bayley. But then the distraction, as Mick was going for the big DT onto Mandy, Paige was taken out by Bayley, but Paige got back in the ring after Sasha got the referee distracted. Paige kicked the hell out of Mickie. The referee got back up. Mandy pinned Mickie. 1-2-3 victory for Absolution in this regular tag match. These little match, a good action here. But the victory goes to Absolution, and Mandy Wells gets her first in-ring victory in WWE. So, that's kind of cool. Meanwhile, we have our next affair being another video segment involving Woken Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. Now, last week we saw the WWE debut of the Woken gimmick in this video vignette, and we saw another video vignette. I love the video vignette, yes, last week with the conflicting promos. We saw that again this week, and this promo was not as good as last week. Especially the editing was a lot more distracting. When they cut away between both guys, the segue in between wasn't as obnoxious. Instead, every time we cut back and forth, we saw the break and Matt's new Woken glass thing. So the cutaways, you know, the way they cut away, became annoying. You know, the production edit, the way they decided to cut back and forth, the segue was more annoying with their both little vignette thing. It got annoying. You know, it was still kind of goofy. You know what I mean? The promo was interesting with Matt Hardy, of course, Vason, and say about the Great Wall being in the WWE, the way he says things. Especially those who follow the gimmick a lot. You know, like I said, I only saw bits and pieces on the internet because I did not watch TNA when Matt Hardy came in. I quit watching TNA right before the booking gimmick happened and started watching Ring of Honor in New Japan because I was bored with TNA. But I did see bits and pieces on the internet, so I was like, dang it, quit watching the wrong time. Would have stayed if I would have saw the Walking Dead. If it would have came before I quit watching. And then, like, Bray Wyatt said some stuff about, like, Matt being a cow, and then they went back with the move. And they had another laugh off. We need an in-ring promo with these guys. You know, the video vignettes are fun, but we need an in-ring confrontation. We need it sooner than later. So this thing won't get too old. Especially with the cutaways being more annoying with the effects. You know. Like the cutaways last week, the way they cut away. Okay, like a little bit. But they didn't do the whole Bray and the broken glass thing every time. So it got annoying with the cutaways. Good little promo. Not as good as last week. Crowd wasn't as blown away as last week. So, hopefully we get an in-ring promo soon, like I said. On to our next matchup. Finn Balor might have the mighty have fallen. Once positioned for a possible title match against Brock Lesnar, but deemed not because he's not over enough. He's making a trend out of it, saying he's not over. He's overseas. Yeah, he's still not over enough, so he's taking on the Miz to watch. Apparently, he's going to be in the Miz feud when Miz comes back. It's going to be when Miz's hometown, Cleveland, and he's not there because he's filming Marine 6. So, he beat up on Bo Dallas last week. Now he gets to beat up on Curtis Axel, who, before he walked in the ring, was still selling the injuries from Braun Strowman a few weeks back, still wearing the neck brace. Right before the match started, he was dressed to action, but he took the neck brace off. That's going to be like the new Bob Orton or something. Hey, he's a son of a famous wrestler. So he's not Orton's son. Because Bob Orton had that arm cast for like almost a year. And he kept wearing that even with the arm being better. I thought he was going to do that with the neck brace, but he took it off. But the neck got damaged again. It is okay little squasher. Finn came in a House of Fire following a little bit of offense from Axel. It was a beatdown before the match. He and Bo got some shouncing on Finn before the match. Then the bell started, and Axel took advantage of that beatdown, but not enough to give Finn the comeback with a sling blade. And Axel set the neck injury and get into that. In the coup de grace, coup de grace, in the victory for Finn Balor. You know what I mean? Balor needs more important feud here. I thought he would get involved in the main event. Maybe to screw over the company for not having faith in him and saying he's not over enough to face Lesnar. I know a lot of people, including my dad and I, talk about this, about why Finn should stay away from Brock because he'll get killed because he's skinny as hell. Like, AJ's small, but he can handle his own against Lesnar. But Finn's just a goon. You know, a lot of people losing faith in Finn because they're not getting him over on television. You know, when he's been booked since he's returned, it's not been great. You know, maybe they lost faith in him because they don't want him to get hurt again. I hope that's not the same thing they're going to do when the Revival finally come back from their second injury infecting one of the tag people. You know, it was Revival. We need fresh meat in the tag division, especially we've seen like the Ball and Seth and Dean too many times. This is a feud that never ends. Of course, it continue on later on with the matches with, you know, Seth against Sheamus. And they won against Cesaro. At least it wasn't Dean against Cesaro. But yeah, I hope they book Balor better in 2018. And speaking of Seth and Sheamus, that will be our next match. Seth Rollins against Sheamus, man. We've seen these guys wrestle so many times individually as many times as we've seen them wrestle in tag matches with their partners. Of course, stipulation was added for the 3 Shield one-on-one matches this evening, especially after the opening segment, that all outside forces are banned from ringside. Unless your name is Jason Jordan, who we would see later on in a match, but not this one. So basically, like the club, the bar, and all Shield members were banned, and Joe was banned from all matches. But like I said, Jason Jordan was not on that list, as we would see later on. So, Seth against Sheamus, good little matchup. See these guys wrestle. If you've seen one match with these guys, you've seen them all. Good little match here with Sheamus doing some big moves. Including a couple of attempts at a broke kick. Even towards the end with a broke kick, get to that. But Seth came in with his usual moves, the big kicks, the Falcon Arrow, the Blockbuster, all that great stuff. But then Sheamus later on targeted the surgically repaired knee of Rollins, targeted that throughout the evening, even putting him into the cloverleaf, trying to damage that knee even further. But despite the damage done, Seth came rolling back. Like I said, some more big moves. But then Sheamus, near towards the end, did a rolling senton for a 2 count. But it was setting up for the brogue kick. Seth would counter it, would dunk out of it, and would nail Sheamus with a super kick. For the living is the clothesline combination, the V-trigger, and the 1-2-3 victory for Seth freaking Rollins. So 1 win for the Shield thus far. See if the other members would do the same in their individual matches. But now on to our obligatory cruiserweight match of the evening. Now, as many fans know, we were supposed to see Drew Gulak wrestle off against Rich Swann tonight to see who would face off against Enzo Amore next week for the cruiserweight title. Of course, both Drew and Rich won Fatal 4-Ways the last 2 weeks, really good Fatal 4-Ways, to get this opportunity to wrestle to face Enzo. Now, as a lot of people have heard, Rich Swann got arrested early Sunday morning for assault and battery and false imprisonment on his wife. Another wrestler, apparently, she wrestled an independent show and had an argument about her match, according to several reports, including some eyewitness reports. I didn't read the whole thing, I just saw like bits and pieces of the reports. That apparently he got into the car, got very violent and physical, and he got suspended by WWE. Of course, that wasn't addressed on TV about it was addressed that his opportunity was revoked, but he didn't say why, didn't want to mention. He got arrested. Who knows? Maybe Drew Gulak will put it in a PowerPoint presentation. It is PowerPoint presentation. We'll see if they have the balls to do that. Hey, at least they mentioned Roman Reigns' suspension. Well, the John Cena rivalry about a year later, they got suspended for his wellness policy. Anyway, so we're all speculating after this whole news came out with Rich Swann getting arrested, and he might be released soon. That's sad, because I was a Rich Swann fan. Bad timing. It's been a rough year for the Cruiserweights. Aries leaving, never walking out, and now Rich Swann got arrested, and the 205 Live crew is supposed to do a house show tour. And one of the most popular babyfaces is out. Might be out for good. So, a lot of people are expecting that it won't be long till we wish Rich Swann the best in his future endeavors. It's sad. I like him in the Cruiserweight division, and NXT as well. So, I hope he gets another chance, but he may not, from what I'm hearing. But since Swann lost out on his chance, blew his chance by hitting a woman, we have a lot of other wrestlers getting a second chance. So tonight, we were like, is Gulak going to wrestle somebody tonight? Or is he going to win by forfeit? Well, he is going to wrestle next week. So the Cruiserweight title match has been moved to, I'm assuming, Christmas Day. Because it's supposed to be the winner is going to face Enzo next week. But now Gulak would have to wrestle next week against the winner of another 4-way. Basically the same 4-way from last week, but replacing Drew Gulak is Daivari. It's Tony Nese, Mustafa Ali, it's like Alexander, and like I said, Daivari replacing Drew Gulak. And he was in the first Fatal 4-way, along with Noam Dar, and I think Great Malik. Or Kalisto was in the other Fatal 4-way 2 weeks ago. But anyway, another great Fatal 4-way, even though, hey, this Fatal 4-way was on circumstance because of which one. Another great affair. Got a lot of time in. Everyone got some good shots in. Tony Nese did some big moves, despite the fact his friend, Drew Gulak, was at ringside commentating. And of course has his own rules about the no-fly zone, blah, 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 blah. But he called it falling with grace. When Tony Nese did a big splash over the top rope later on. Splashing on the outside. It's falling with style, Drew Gulak. Story reference. Thank you. Anyway, it's falling with style. Not falling with grace, falling with style. So, great action. Great spots. Mustafa did his big 450. And he and Cena had a little beef last week about kicking each other out. But they got into a little brawl. Inserted Nese and Daivari, Zone Train members. It's an opportunity to face Gulak to get an opportunity against Enzo. Who's distracted with Nia Jax. That little storyline developed tonight as they would confront each other backstage. And even Enzo's like, I'll take on anybody. You, Nia Jax. So he's got a little thing with Nia. Anywho, Cedric did a lumbar jack, and I thought Daivari was going to do like Drew Gulak did, because after Cedric nailed the lumbar jack and got pushed down, Daivari was going to pick up the pieces and win, kind of like Drew did. But thankfully, he did not. But Cedric did another lumbar jack on Daivari instead of Mustafa. In the victory for Cedric Alexander, the one guy to replace Rich Swann against Gulak. Because I thought they were going to do the match tonight and just hand the match. But hey, they're not going to hand the match to somebody. They're going to make the Cruiserweights earn a shot to face Gulak to get an opportunity to face off against Enzo. So next week, it will be Cedric Alexander taking on Gulak. Winner taking on Enzo. I'm assuming Christmas Day. Unless they make it New Year's Eve. But we'll see. But fun. Fatal 4-way. You know, sad it happened because of circumstance. But hey, as long as no one gets hurt or no one beats up any more women, we'll have this match next week with Gulak and Alexander. Wish for the best for Rich Swann, but man, he fucked up. He done fucked up. Now on to our next matchup. Probably the best match of the night. If you call it best match of the night. The IC title match. The open challenge that Wolverine's been laying out was answered by Cesaro. And like the last two IC title matches with Jason Jordan and Elias, this match was once again a really good match. And the opponent looked really good. Cesaro looked amazing in this match. We haven't seen him wrestle singles in a while, especially this good. He gave Reigns all he had, including a nasty spot when he nailed Reigns against the post. He was talking on the shoulder throughout the entire match after he did it on the outside. But like I said, the nasty spot when he nailed Roman head and shoulder first against the post. The impact. Damn! Nasty impact that Reigns took on that post. But despite Cesaro giving all he could do, including teaser neutralizer, and even teasing this is all sweet, but it was a little secret there. Cesaro was trying to do for Cesaro sweet, but then Roman's kept carrying it. Even had Cesaro pinned, but his shoulders went down and turned into like a one-handed powerbomb. That was a cool little sequence there. And people may agree with Roman saying he's the best worker right now. That would be Omega or Okada. Or Jericho, for that matter. Especially with the Jericho Omega build. Okada was awesome seeing that build up when Jericho attacked Omega and bloodied him during a recent New Japan event this morning. Doing a World Tag League final. Cannot wait for Wrestle Kingdom. Cannot wait to see it. Anyway. Warriors get all he had. You know, beating up Cesaro on the outside. Before Cesaro came back with some big moves, like I said. You know, fun match. But we all knew how it was going to end. Despite Cesaro's best efforts. Putting Reigns to the brink. Like I said, Elias and Jordan did. And also a nasty uppercut. That was another good spot that happened. Cesaro lifted up Reigns and nailed him with a big uppercut. But then Cesaro got taken down by a back button drop. And then one spear from Reigns. He didn't do the he did the spear without the pose. And got that connected and the victory, retaining the IC Championship. So, there you go. Happy Cesaro had a chance at the title. And you need to split up from Cesaro soon. Especially if they need to wrestle the Shield every time. Because their match is great, but getting a bit too much. This is the feud that never ends. Like I said earlier. So, like, make fun of Reigns all you want. But you don't tell me he cannot work hard in the ring. He looked really good in this match. Man, Woman looks strong. Man, Super Reigns! Strong. The man who's faster than Rey Mysterio, more powerful than a Big Show, and able to bury careers in a single bound. Super Reigns. He can look strong for Lesnar and Mania. Does it Lesnar retains the Universal title? One more if he has an opponent. So, there's another great IC title match 3 weeks in a row. Like, Reigns is doing for the IC title what seeded the US title, and at least Reigns is doing more with the IC title than he did with the US title. Because we want the IC title, I wanted to do more with the IC title than he did as US champion. He didn't do shit as US champion. In 3 weeks in a row, he's defending the title. Every week. So, doing more with IC, like I said, than US when he was champion. Now, on to our next scheduled match. And I do mean scheduled. A rematch between Asuka and Alicia Fox from last week. But before Alicia Fox would come out, we heard her music, but we didn't see her come out. Into Absolution. They had this little thing with Asuka the last couple of weeks. You know, they've been cornering Asuka. They beat up on Alicia Fox last week after the match. And beat up on Alicia Fox again. But it was kind of weird. Like, when you see Absolution take people out, they're laying out. They're like literally laid out. But they showed Lisa Fox, she was still standing, just clenching it off. She wasn't laid out. So that was kind of weird. So then they called to Asuka, and this time, after 2 weeks, we finally saw Asuka beat up on Absolution. But despite Asuka's best efforts, the numbers game really got to Asuka and was beaten down by Edge and all Absolution. So here comes Sasha Banks. And the entire Raw women's locker room, including Alexa Bliss, has been cowering from Absolution last few weeks after she got laid out when Absolution debuted. And even Alicia Fox with her trying to sell injury. And Nia Jax, who, despite the fact they were only putting her, I'm hearing they're only putting her with Enzo to not get her hands on Absolution. Well, she got her hands on Absolution. There was one little spot as we had a little ball going on. There was like a little miscue from Mandy Wells. Like she was supposed to hit Alexa Bliss. She got smacked in the head to turn around. It was a little. She still.
Here's a station you might like. The Rolling Stones from Amazon Music.
Alexa off. Sorry. I gotta do Alexa echo. It went off. I said Alexa. I said Alexa. As in Alexa Bliss. So dang it. Anyway. So we saw Nia Jax lay out Mandy Wells in the last segment. As all Absolution got cleared out. Before Asuka would do more damage. I think after the clothesline from Nia, Mandy be put in an Asuka long until Paige and Sonya would pull her out. So there you go with that. Match never happened, but we saw a little beatdown and all the Raw women's locker room uniting against a common enemy. Being Absolution won one rough shot on the Raw locker room, kind of like what the Wyatt Squad is doing on SmackDown. Kind of weird they both debuted at the same time. Now on to the last of our individual Shield matches. Dean Ambrose against Samoa Joe, which they said was a first time ever match. I need to do my research. See if they faced up before, maybe in Ring of Honor, because they were both in Ring of Honor. See if they faced up before in the company, because they always say, ooh, first time ever, first time ever. And it is not a first time ever match. Apparently it is a first time ever, unless people can correct me. So, maybe first time on TV, not first time ever, period, like maybe wrestled at house shows. But anywho, these a little match here. You know what I mean? Joe did pretty well, but Jason Jordan, I did mention he was going to get involved, and he got involved in this match. He wanted Samoa Joe. We thought we were going to see him against Samoa Joe this week after the interactions they had last week. Even Joe asking his dad to put him in the match against Joe. I thought he was going to get it, but he did not. He was not happy with it. He went to his dad's locker room and told him he wanted Samoa Joe, and got booed out the building. And he was like, you'll get Samoa Joe when I say you're all ready for him. And he was like, okay, Kurt, instead of calling him dad. So he came out in the middle of the Joe Ambrose match, just laid on a chair on the entrance ramp while watching Joe beat up on Ambrose, destroying him. But Ambrose made a little hope spot, the comeback spot, a couple lunatic clotheslines. But you only imagine, like I know Ambrose has dirty deeds on, hit dirty deeds on Kevin Owens, but I can only imagine him hitting dirty deeds on Samoa Joe. He did try, but then Joe and Ambrose fought outside, and then Jason Joe got involved. He wanted to get a piece of Joe with Brett being distracted. And then at one point as well, Jordan got the referee distracted after Ambrose did nail Joe with a move and had Joe pinned. And referee got distracted by Jordan. Ambrose wanted to confront Jordan. Jordan almost slammed Ambrose, but then Joe splashed off the top rope, taking them both out. And then Jordan got taken out by Joe. And with Ambrose still weakened from all the shenanigans, Joe laid him back in, locked in the Coquina clutch, and got the victory as Ambrose passed out. So Ambrose was the only Shield member to lose. Happily, Ambrose against Joe, because Joe needs a win more than... You know, it's kind of weird that, the Bar Tag Team Champions lost non-title matches tonight. But at least Joe kept momentum on his side by beating a member of the Shield. And I thought we were going to see a 6-man tag next week, but as I mentioned in the beginning, we are going to see that 6-man tag on Tribute to the Troops. Before our main event, we'd see a backstage segment involving Titus Worldwide. Where the hell have they been? We haven't seen them in weeks. Apparently they enlisted Dana Brooke. Seen little bits on the social media, but we have not seen them in a while since they ended their Elias feud. Which, like I said, we did not see Elias this week. There was a sign that said, I want to walk with Elias. Hopefully Elias maybe was in a dark match main event, or maybe doing the taping of main event before Raw. But if he wasn't there at all this week, didn't appear at all during the entire taping night, would have been disappointing, because he's one of the most over guys when it comes to heat. Up there with Jordan and Woman. So then we got confronted. They, being times when one got confronted by the club. We have not seen them in months either. Calling him, yeah! So apparently we're going to see probably a tag match with Titus Worldwide's, Titus and Apollo for the next couple weeks against the club. We'll probably see that next week. And Dana being in the corner. I feel bad for Dana. Speaking of soon-to-be future endeavor, she might be out the door too. You know, she's been booked badly, especially with her partner Emma gone. You know, she had so much potential, but once, again, like what with Bayley, her booking, I mean, Ross has been horrid. She got brought in with Emma, then Emma got hurt, and got bunched in with Charlotte, and never been the same since. So now on to our so-called monstrous main event. Kane against Braun Strowman. We had a match with them a couple weeks back, and I said they need a rematch and a stipulation added to the match. Maybe like a no DQ match, or a last man standing match. Well, they did not give us a no DQ step. They did give us this step, that the winner would go on to face Brock Lesnar for the Universal title at Royal Rumble, robbing us of a possible Balor match. I said I thought we were going to see Balor get involved in the match, maybe get himself over to say, fuck WWE Creative, I'm putting myself in this situation, maybe we can fatal forward at Royal Rumble. We had a triple threat with Lesnar before, with Cena, and Rollins in the Royal Rumble 2015. It was an amazing match, and got Rollins over, so they could do that, like a fatal four-way. But nope, we did not see Balor involvement. We did have a screwy ending, though. Another one. Damn it! They didn't have no DQ step. Anyway, we in the ball, that was an okay little match. You know, why was the main event? You know, Braun beat up on Kane early, but like Kane got some big moves, some big punches on Strowman, even delivering 2 choke slams onto Braun Strowman. But Strowman kicked out of them both. And tried for his own choke slam on Kane. But then they brought on the outside. They brought into the crowd a little bit. Before Braun Strowman did a running spear onto Kane, breaking the barricade by the timekeeper's area. And unfortunately, after that spear, they were both laid out. And the referee was counting. And we got the 10 double count out. So, what does this mean for Royal Rumble? Who cares? We had the ball continuing on. They weren't done. Despite the match being a double count out, they brought all over the ring. You know, grabbing. There was a cool spot where they both grabbed steel steps. And they kind of ran into each other with the steps from both sides. And they banged the steps into each other, but Kane took the most damage of it. And then Strowman's trying to find a weapon. Fans wanting tables, but instead he put like this fucking wheel thing. Really? That's all he found? He's trying to smash that against Kane's throat like he did 2 weeks ago. Kane's still not selling the throat injury, or Braun either, for when they both nailed each other with chairs in the throat 2 weeks in a row. So after that failed, Braun pulled out a table, put it in the ring. And what I mention, we saw Braun Strowman dropkick on Kane at the beginning of the match when the match was still going, so that was a cool little spot there. Seeing a 300 guy do a dropkick is still impressive, especially when it's Strowman. So then, like I said, the table got set up by Kane after Braun brought it in. After they both closed on each other, they were out. Then Kane set back up. And then Strowman set back up, and Kane was like, ugh, that was a good little spot there. Then the table was set up. Kane was trying to chokeslam Strowman to the table. But instead, Strowman would turn that into a running power slam to the table. And that's how we end Raw, with Braun steady tall after he laid out Kane through a table. It was an okay match. You know, the ending, another screwy ending with these two. You know, we needed a stipulation match. Like a no DQ match. Not a regular match with an opportunity against Brock Lesnar on the line. Especially the way the match ended, being a double count out, what's going to happen? Well, Brock is scheduled to be on Raw. And we'll see, they'll probably address it somehow next week, whether it's they make it a triple threat, or they make it Kane and Strowman again next week with an ODQ step. Winner goes out against Lesnar. We'll see how they're going to do this. Are they going to just go ahead and make it a triple threat? But Braun and Lesnar and Kane in a triple threat. That's not appealing. I'd rather see Braun and Lesnar one-on-one. And hopefully, if they do face one-on-one, hopefully the match in the Rumble is better than the match in No Mercy. It underwhelmed big time. The AJ Lesnar match was so much better than Lesnar Strowman. They had so much build, the match sucked. We didn't see much destruction from Braun and got laid out by only one F5. I knew I'm trying to protect the F5 by only having Lesnar there one and done to build up for Mania, only to lose against Roman if they still go that route. That's why his ICG would make Roman look strong before Mania, but dang it. So we'll see how we will book this. Probably next week, we'll get this addressed with Lesnar being on Raw. And that is it for my Raw review this evening. Thank you so much for watching. With that in mind, you've all been attacked by the review from Zach. See you later. Bye-bye.